Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. I'm glad to have you on board. Today I'd like to share with you a project I made a couple of years ago. It's a shamrock St. Patrick's Day bracelet and then these earrings that I did. This is kind of in response to someone here on YouTube. I had mentioned on another video that I commented on something about bead embroidery, how I enjoyed doing that, and that person asked me a question about it, and I apologize because I really don't remember who that was. I don't know about anybody else, but I watch YouTube videos every morning and every evening, and sometimes I feel like maybe I should sit with a notebook or something and jot down notes as to, ideas and where they came from and who I talked to. I feel like that might get to be a little bit much, though. And of course, as you can hear, Milkshake has heard me talking and has come over here and started, adding her 2 cents. But anyway, back to the project. This is an example of the bead embroidery that I have done. I like to create in kind of a freeform style, although these, as you can tell, did have a pattern to them. And I'm actually going to film a tutorial on how to do some of this bead embroidery work. I'm not going to do the this stitch here, because, to be quite honest, I haven't done it in so long that I would have to relearn how to do this. I always have to look every single time I do this blanket stitch with the beads. But anyway, what I do is I take a piece of stiffened felt and I begin to stitch on top of the stitched felt. This is actually a backing piece of felt. I can tell by looking at it. I stitched 2 pieces together. So underneath here is a stiffened piece of felt that I did the beadwork onto. And for this particular piece, what I did was I stitched this focal point bead on here first. Then I added this fun little gold bead accent along the side, which is just a loop sewn down. But then the rest of these is kind of a fringe technique that I added there. And I'm pretty sure that these earrings are filled completely with this fringe technique. And then I just added a little loop at the top that I put the jewelry fining through. And when I turned it over, you might have already seen this and wondered what this was, this spot here. What happened was, originally, my cat looks like she wants to get involved when my hand went like that. Such a ward her off. Anyway, originally when I created these earrings, I wanted them to be post earrings. And so I glued down the post, and then I put them on, and they're so heavy. Well, they're actually kind of light, but they were so heavy and large for a post earring that they just kind of tilted and went like that. So I realized, okay, that's not going to work. So I actually, because I had put the post earring underneath the felt, I had glued it to the back of the first felt, put it underneath this, so all it was poking through. I had to use wire cutters to cut off the metal shank of the earring, the post. And so what you see here is, because there was still a piece outside of that, I put a bead on top of that metal post just so that it wasn't scratchy, and then I glued that on. So mistakes happen, and you just learn to live with them and you move on. But these are the earrings that I made, and I made the earrings to go with the bracelet that I made. And the bracelet that I made, which is this, and the earrings and the bracelet I actually did feature on my blog, which I will probably put the blog address down below, but I don't really do anything on the blog anymore. I find it's very hard for me to keep up with all the different means of social media. So when I can, I post on Instagram, but I mainly do stuff here on YouTube, and sometimes I put stuff over on Facebook as well. But this is the bracelet that I made, and I did it in the same fashion. I cut out, I hate when my camera does this, when it stops and starts like that. I have a feeling that it does that because my camera is full, like there's not a whole lot of space. But anyway, I apologize for that, just bear with me. I found that the volume, or that the audio keeps going. But on the back of this, I had, again, on stiffened felt, I stitched everything. And then I cut this out to fit around the pieces. So I did this afterwards. And I do it freeform, so I kind of cut out as I was going along. I did have a plan for this piece, though. I did kind of lay this out on paper first, so that I knew what I was doing. Come on, camera. So I stitched the shamrock here in the middle, and you can tell there's a lot of texture in this. I did a lot of the, what's that called? Oh, the fringe technique with the things. But the interesting thing about this piece is that I planned I like hidden things. That's probably part of what speaks to me with junk journals so much. I really like, why does it look like it stopped recording? Oh, my camera is just really weird. Anyway, I like hidden elements, and I think that's why I like junk journals so much, is because of all of the different hidden pieces and whatever in a junk journal. But this particular piece, okay, it'll be very interesting to see what happens with that in post-production. But at any rate, getting back to my piece here. So I planned all of this out. There's a couple of focal pieces stitched down, some larger beads. Most of this is fringe, which I'm going to show you in a tutorial that I'm going to do. And what I did was I planned this little hidden gem in there. So you can pull this out, and the idea behind this was that I was going to put something, a quote, or maybe even a picture or something that reminded me of my mother on that. My mother is the inspiration for all of my St. Patrick's Day pieces. My mother's birthday was on St. Patrick's Day, so I'm always doing things for that. And so how I did this, because everybody's going to go, oh, I need to know how to do that. So as I told you before, there's two pieces stitched together. There's a stiffened felt, and then there's the backing piece. So it was the stiffened felt that I cut through so that I could put this piece in here. Now I will tell you, as you just noticed when I tried to put that back in there, it is not sturdy enough to slide in and out easily. So I don't do it very often. It didn't turn out to be the way that I wanted it to be. But it has to be, I'm going to zoom out. It has to be kind of soft enough so that it'll fit around my wrist, you know. So that was challenging. I may try to do another one sometime and see if I can perfect that little thing, because I think that's kind of a fun element. To finish it off, after I did the blanket stitch around the outside of the piece, then I added this bead thing here, just strung together with some bigger beads on the end, and then a piece down here at the bottom. And I will never be able to put this on my wrist like this on camera, but it comes in here like that, and then I put that on the back. And the earrings go nicely with the bracelet. But anyway, there's my St. Patrick's Day project. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please share it with other people. Invite them over to my channel. And thanks for watching. Thanks to all the new subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. You can't even know how much. Look for the tutorial on doing the bead embroidery stitches. Have a wonderful day. Thanks.